right, good morning, guys. We are here in Port Orchard today, and we're actually at another repeat customer. We came out to this lot. This guy bought a 5-acre lot, just raw land, I would say a year and a half ago. And when he came here, you know, it all looked like dense forest like that. And Eric, who's actually with me today, he came in and he cleared all of this for the most part, because they couldn't see the topography of the land or anything like that. So they're getting, you know, they're getting their septic tested, and they had their geotech people out, probably wetlands and all that kind of stuff. And after we mulched it, made all the surveying and all that kind of stuff go real smoothly, and they got an idea lay of the land, so they knew where they were going to put the house. Looks like they actually got 2 in here now. Well, I don't know if I made a mistake yet, but you know, somebody that we've never met before calls me and says, I got this. I usually come out, I always come out, take a look at it, I'll give him a bid on it. This guy being a repeat customer, he's seen what we were capable of doing. He calls and said, hey, since then we've had to push in some other areas. They've cut down some trees, piled up some limbs, and they made a slash pile. So he gives me a call and says, yeah, I just need you guys to come out for like a day. It's not gonna be a problem. Well, we show up today, and this is what we're looking at. Now, he tried to give me a description over the phone, and I don't know, maybe, you know, he's the one that put this stuff here. You know, slash piles are always a mystery thing. You don't know if there's big stuff in there, stumps. So, you know, he put this stuff there. He said it's mostly just small branches and everything. If that's the case, it shouldn't be an issue. But when I usually show up and I see a slash pile like this, and I don't know what's in it, I get kind of nervous. Just don't know how long it's going to take. Obviously, the bigger the material, the longer it's going to take to mulch. Now, had I come out here and looked at it, I would have brought the gyro track out. The gyro track wasn't out here, it's just the cat. That's what the guy has been seen on the property. That's what he's used to. And budget wise, you know, the cat's what worked out for him. So obviously the gyro track does more, but I mean, it costs more. The machine costs 3 times as much. So obviously for us just to come out and operate it, it's a little bit more expensive. And he thought, oh, you know what, just bring out the same stuff that you guys had last time. It shouldn't be an issue. So I'm really hoping that's not going to be an issue. So we're going to tear into it. And this is another thing that we see a lot of people building slash piles. Sometimes loggers do it, and then sometimes homeowners do it as well. Since it's built up in a pile like this, we now had to bring the excavator out to tear it apart and feed the skid steer. Even if it was the gyro track, it's too big of a pile. You know, as soon as we start going into this, if we weren't to break it up, in no time we'd have a foot of mulch, and then you can't get anything underneath it, so you just have this big mound and all this stuff underneath. So right here, where's basically bare land, Eric's going to start by mulching this, and I'm going to get myself positioned right here, and I'm just going to feed him all day, and we're just going to work our way down. So the end goal, he doesn't want mulch spread out all over the place. He wants to use a lot of this mulch for around the property. This is going to be like a blueberry patch and stuff like that. So our goal is just to have a big bed of mulch right here that he's got a little tractor out there, so he'll be able to scoop it up, and he'll be able to use the mulch around the property as he sees fit. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I'll get this stuff set up, and Eric's over there unloading and getting the machines greased up. We'll see how it goes. just starting out, and you can see Tegan's not actually getting aggressive with this. Like this head, like the gyro track, strictly knives. This guy, we can have carbide teeth and knives, and I knew we were going to do a slash pile today. Didn't know it was going to be quite this big, but we did put knives on the center of that mulcher, and this ground does have quite a bit of rock in it. Not bad, but there's some rocks, and so instead of putting that thing in the dirt first thing this morning, he's just going to try to knock it down a little bit so that we have a little bit of a bed. Then once we get the mulch kind of established, then he can really go to town and get that stuff. And then once we get towards the end of the day, we'll sift through this with the excavator, and we'll get the rest of those sticks. why we only put the knives right there in the center, is because we think about what size of trees are we doing at this job. And, you know, that thing being 5 feet wide, you know, the biggest thing that we're probably going to mulch today is going to be 8 inches or something like that. So we just put knives for, oh, it's probably overkill, but at least 12 inches. The way I'm beating him, I'm getting it so that it's right there in the middle of that head. He's really just utilizing those knives in the center. Memory I have left on this card, so I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough as we're just cleaning it up now. Yeah, this pile was came in this morning. We went from all the way over there by the drain rock. I think that's all of 100 feet at least. And this pile was about at least 30 feet wide, and on this end, where it was really tall, that was probably, had it been at least 12 feet high. So, but it never goes to show you, I mean, he said that there wasn't going to be any stumps or any big debris in there, and I pulled a decent amount of those trees out, pulled about 4 or 5 of those big stumps out, and you can still see there's some stumps over here. We'll grind these up too, because these ones are a little bit smaller and they're rotten, but luckily no rocks. Not a whole lot at least. But the FAE with the knives on there did the trick, but it was that feeding it constantly all day long with the excavator. absolutely no way we would have been able to do this without the excavator assisting. So yeah, you can see right here, it's kind of a landing pad that we finished with, but now I'm going to, now that he's kind of doing the last finishing of the top, I'm gonna doze and rake out, because there's gonna be random sticks like this under there. So I'm gonna flip it all and we'll go through that, and then this stuff's gonna sit and decompose, and he's gonna be using it for mulch all over the place. Blueberries here, he's got some orchard stuff he's gonna do over there. But I guess his goal is to not really have any grass on this side, so he's gonna be using this. That pile right where he's driving on right now, that's probably 4 feet tall. But that's what he wanted, so we'll make a little bit of an island there, a little bit higher, so that way it can get hot and decompose faster. So anyways, I'm gonna put this camera on the tripod. Hopefully there's enough battery left to let you guys watch us finish this out and bring it up. So thanks again.